Are you guys ready for some moss pole care? My name is Natasha. I am Planted in Platinum. You can find me over on TikTok and Instagram for more planty content. In today's video, we're going to be working with 3 aeroids. 2 of them I want to do extensions on, just adding another pole and filling it with moss. And the last one, we're going to be doing a chop and extend. So I'm really excited to show you the plants that we're going to be working with today. So let's just get right into it. So first off, I'd like to show you the plants that we will be working with today. This is my Philodendron Esmeraldense, and since putting her in tree fern and pond, she has been growing a lot better for me. This is her newest leaf here, which is so beautiful. I love the sheen on this plant. I think that it's going to be such a beautiful plant once it matures. So for this plant, we're going to be adding a moss pole onto the existing one, just extending it so it's a bit taller because it is running out of room. So this will be the first plant that we will be working with today. The second plant that we're going to be working with today is my Philodendron Longilobatum. This plant is so cool. Check out that new leaf. And this one here is the newest and it's still unfurling. It's going to be massive. I'm so excited. So this one here also needs a pole extension. As you can see, the newest aerial root that's coming out of the top has nowhere to go. So we're gonna add a moss pole into this so that we can extend it and the aerial root can attach to the moss pole. We're also going to be giving this one a quick wipe down because it has extra floral nectaries. This plant is notorious for extra floral nectaries and it drives me insane. So I'm also gonna be doing that today. But one more look at her before I put her down. Philodendron Longilobatum. And I had to scooch back for this one, but the last plant that we're going to be working with is my Monstera Esqueleto. This plant needs a chop and extend. She is getting massive. Let me put her down so you can see her. She is so big and so beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to getting her to grow even bigger. My plan for this plant is to remove the bottom pole, chop all of these lower leaves into single leaf cuttings, and then we're going to repot the top pole into a new pot, and then we're going to add a pole extension to the top. So I have grabbed some of my extra moss poles that I've cleaned out, and I've also boiled some moss so that we can use that to fill the poles with. Nothing special, just some old reused moss. I do like to add tree fern into my moss when I do my moss poles, but I'm just gonna use moss this time. I think it'll be just fine. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm still a bit sick, so I'm sorry about that. Let's start with the easy ones. So we're gonna start off with this Philodendron Esmeraldense. As you can see, the backs of her leaves are red. How pretty is that? Oh my goodness, I think that's gorgeous. So I wonder if it would look better if I turned the light on behind me. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just experimenting with my softbox lights and I don't want it to blow out. But is that better? Does that look better? Having more light behind me, or is it gonna blow me out? I guess we shall see when I upload the video. Anyway, so this one, I just want to add a moss pole to the top. So I'm gonna put it down here on my chair and we're just gonna find a pole and see, I think it's on the 3rd attachment. So I just use these plastic backed poles from North Shore Tropicals. I like them because you can adjust the size on them. So I have this one on the 3rd little notch, so I'm just going to do the same thing. I really hope the lighting is okay. You guys let me know in the comments because I'm gonna have to play around with these softbox lights just to see what works for me. And then you just stick it right inside the old pole. Wiggle it in there. Just like that. Perfect. And then we can just fill that with moss. that should be good for this one because this one does not grow super fast. So I think she is good. So Philodendron Esmeraldense is complete. I'm just gonna grab my Captain Jack spray and some paper towel and use that to wipe the leaves and the petioles with. All right, so I've got my spray and some paper towel. I'm just going to fold it and spray down. So I'm going to remove this old sheath and just give her a go. I'm just going to show you quickly what the extra floral nectaries look like. So the extra floral nectaries look like a sticky substance that is on the back of your foliage and on your petiole as well. So you always want to wipe that off or hose it off in the shower just so that it doesn't burn through your plant. This one I'm literally hosing off every single week, wiping it down, and it still burns through because I don't get to it fast enough, but I just get to it when I can. It comes off really easily. It's just super annoying. Okay, so I've got this guy all cleaned off. So what I want to do is just extend the moss pole and tie the top node into the pole so that it can grow and root into the pole. So we have it on the biggest one, so I'm just gonna copy that to make the pole the same size. Finally got it. So next we're just gonna add it into the other bowl. Slide it down. Really stuck on. Oh, the root. I'm totally wrecking the root. Oh my. Okay, so we need to get these roots detached from the back of the pole. All right, so I finally have got the pole attached to the bottom pole, so I'm gonna fill this up with moss.
Just where it was needed.
So I think this will be good for this plant. This plant does grow super fast in my opinion. So I'm just gonna pop it back in its place and call that one complete. Okay, now it's time for my Esqueleto. This is such a cool plant. I totally gave up my Adansonii for this. I think it is just crazy. It's nuts how big these leaves get. Like, that's just insanity. They're super cool and skeletal looking. So what I'm gonna do is chop it first. I'm gonna grab my scissors. And I'm going to chop it right here, I think. And then we're gonna try to take this top pole off. I got it. Okay, so this is the root system we are working with, which is pretty good actually, to repot into a new pot. Monstera roots are just crazy. Look at that. It's gonna have to get a chop because if you can see, it's kind of rotted out at the bottom there. So I'm just gonna chop that off. Right there. And then we have ourselves a nice long root to repot this pot, which is beautiful. Look at that. Then we're gonna node chop these Esqueletos. So I'm gonna propagate them. Okay, so let's see if we can remove these. Here is our first propagation. So pretty. Wonder if I should just open up this pole. There is our second propagation. These Esqueleto roots mean business. I broke some of those roots off, but that is okay. These things root up like mad and it still has lots of roots on it. There's another one. And then we have a wet stick. And another wet stick. And that is a wrap. Okay, that was so hard to get all of these cuttings and that whole pole apart, but we have a lot, which I'm happy about. So I'm just gonna leave those over to the side for now. And then I think what I wanna do first is pot up the top and get a pole extension on it. So I'm gonna go grab a pot and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just grabbed a 6-inch clear nursery pot with my Myco, a tray, and some pond that I boiled. So, let's see here. Is this going to work? Oh yeah, that should be perfect. Yes, okay. So I'm just gonna start with a layer of pond in the bottom. Just like that, to give the pole some stability. Okay, she's potted up in her new little pond home, which I'm really excited about. Oh, I don't want her to lean forward though. So now we're going to add her extension. So I'm just gonna pop her on my chair while we do that. She's in a frosted pole and she is on, oh, I think this is actually the perfect, no it's not. I'm back, okay. So I'm gonna open this pole if I can. Oh, perfect. keyword if I can. All right, let's see if we can fit this bad boy in here. I don't honestly know if this is going to work. You know what? We are gonna go with that. We're gonna fill it with moss. Okay, so this one is complete. She looks so good. I'm so excited for her. Okay, I grabbed some rooting vessels and some perlite that I rinsed and some water so I can just rinse the roots off a bit. So I'm just gonna go through the cuttings one by one. We'll start with the little chunks, I think. So I just want to rinse them off and just take a look and see what we're dealing with. I think this was the original chonk that I propagated, that I received of this plant. I don't know if anything's gonna grow from it. I don't see any growth points, but you know what? I'm just gonna put it in some perlite anyways because you never know. So for this one, I'm just gonna use a tiny little cup. And I just put the roots down in the perlite. So that one is complete. And then I have this trunk here, so let's clean it off. I did wreck the bottom root, so I'm just gonna chop it off, trying to get it out of the pole. But it does have some other really nice roots. So this one here is the best. And we have 1, 2 separate cuttings we can make of this one. So I'm just gonna chop it in half. Okay, so I only have one of these bigger cups, but I think I'll use this one for this because it has a really good aerial root on it and it has a growth point as well. So it actually has 2 growth points. So I'm just gonna fill this one up. I put some water on it to clean the trunk off and the perlite just bubbled up. Anyways, there is number 2. And this little chunk I'm just gonna pop into a little cup. Just like that with the growth point up. And then we'll go through these leaf crops. So I know a couple of the bottom leaves were starting to yellow a bit, but it's fine. There's still a lot of green on them. So I'm just going to pot them up just like they are. And that is the root that we have on that one. So I'm wondering if it will fit in this cup without the cup tipping over is my qualm. Like I don't have any glass ones I want to give away because I'm probably going to end up selling these. Oh, I found some more bigger cups. Maybe I should put them in pawn, but I want to save my pawn. I'm putting them in perlite. Okay, maybe we'll use a fork stake. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some of my plastic stakes. Okay, acquired. So what I'm gonna do is just stick it in the side of the cup and press the perlite down to just kind of keep it more secure. I'm gonna need some Velcro, one sec. Okay, I can't find my Velcro, so I just grabbed some masking tape, which will work just fine too. So where is the cutting I just had? Right here. See if we can secure it to the fork stake. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play around with this lighting. I don't know. I think that's the part I struggle with the most on YouTube is my lighting. It literally makes me go crazy. Oh, that works good. See, I just attached it to the plastic fork And now I'm just gonna fill it up with perlite. And the new growth point is going to come from inside of there. So I made sure that it's not right up against the fork, so when it does sprout, I'll just have to move the tape. That one is done. So cute. All right, what do we got next? We have this one here, which is also yellowing a bit, but we have a nicer root on this one, a little bit longer than the previous one, and we have a couple extra roots as well. These aerial roots on the Monstera Esqueleto do not mess around. They are wild. Okay, there we go. So that's what we have there. And it'll do just fine in this little tiny cup. All right, there she is, little cutie. I say that about all of them. I'm just glad those plastic cups are actually supporting the cutting. All right, what's next? Ooh, she cute. And she has lots of roots too. So let's clean those off. Get that moss off of there. As best as we can anyways. There was clumps of moss on there. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. And is this one I want to put in this tiny cup? Yeah, let's do it. Perfect. That one is complete. Oh my goodness, back to school sickness. Seriously, I just recovered from COVID and then my kids get sick at school. It's terrible, but 'tis the season. 'Tis the season. I have an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition caused from hypothyroidism. So when I get sick, I get like way sicker than like somebody who would just get this cold who doesn't have an autoimmune condition, which wreaks havoc on my life when I get sick. But that's okay. It could be worse. It could be worse. But I'm gonna have to edit a lot of my coughs out. Oh, these roots look good. And it has a nice aerial as well. Oh, and the growth point, I can see it actually. I'll show you. The growth point is just right there. Then we got all those roots. So this one I'm gonna put into a bigger cup. I have a couple cups here I found. I really need to organize my cup cabinet and my pot cabinet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Excellent. I'm not even using a potting mat today. That's okay though. We don't need to use one all the time. It's nice to be able to just wipe the table off quick sometimes and not have to deal with cleaning a potting mat, because then you have to clean two things. Might as well take away one out of that equation, right? Girl math. All right, let's see if I can stick this in here. Darn it. I thought I would have enough time before it fell. Okay, so let's do that. And add more perlite. Excellent. That one is complete. Oh, and that just leaves us with one. Perfect. Okay, so that is what we are looking like. So that is what we are looking like with everything cleaned off as best as I could get it. So this one also has a lot of roots. Look how big that leaf is. I think this is the biggest one. So Oh, we do. We have one more of these big cups. So I think I'm just gonna pop this in this big cup here. I'm gonna chop this top root off because it's going to be exposed to air, because I want to try to stake this one up as well. Perfect. There she is. All right, you guys, I think that is it. Oh, it feels so good to get this done. I know moss poles is like my most daunting task, but then when I go to do it, it just happens so quickly. So I don't know, take this as your sign to go deal with your moss pole plants. But we got 1, 2, 3. 4. 5. 5 leaf cuttings, and then we have 3 chonk cuttings. So that was pretty good too. I can probably root these out and take them to the market with me in the fall. All right, you guys, that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for stopping by my little planty channel. I appreciate you so, so much. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like button down below. Leave me a comment. If you watched all the way to the end, leave me a peace sign. And if you haven't subscribed to my little planty channel, I would very much appreciate if you did that. Thank you again and have the most wonderful day. Bye.